All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down a really smart framework for navigating what could be a super tricky market in 2026. This is all based on some sharp analysis from philstockworld.com, and the idea here isn't about having a crystal ball. It's about building a solid plan that can take a few hits.
And I mean, how perfect is that for investing, right? You can have the most beautiful charts, the most detailed spreadsheets in the world, but the market just loves to throw a haymaker when you are least expecting it.
So that's really the core question we're diving into. It's not about trying to dodge every single punch, because let's be real, that's impossible. It's about building a strategy with a strong enough chin to take a hit, shake it off, and come back even stronger.
You know, the best way to get ready for what's coming is to look at what's already happened. So we're going to start by looking back at a masterclass in preparation, the April 2025 market correction. This isn't just theory, folks. This is a real-world case study of a plan working exactly as it should.
What's so wild here is just how early the red flags were popping up. I mean, we're talking about warnings way back in January that valuations were getting way too stretched. By February, predictive AI was literally screaming, "Crash ahead." Then came the alert in March to start taking profits. So when that 35% punch finally landed on April 2nd, it wasn't a total surprise, at least not for anyone who was paying attention.
And this, right here, just shows the two completely different stories playing out. On one side, you had the crowd, total panic, selling at the absolute bottom, locking in huge losses. But on the other side, you had the prepared investor. They were calm. They were sitting on a mountain of cash, protected by smart hedges. For them, the crash wasn't a catastrophe. It was a Black Friday sale.
So just how prepared are we talking? Well, get ready for this number, 78.2%. In the middle of a market firestorm, that sounds impossibly high. So what on earth is it?
Boom, there it is. That was the actual percentage of cash held in a portfolio that was set up way back in January 2025, precisely because they saw this downturn coming. And here's the key takeaway. This wasn't just about playing defense. This massive cash pile was the war chest that let them go on a powerful offense, while everybody else was running for the hills.
Okay, so let's talk about that pivot, because having a strong defense, being in cash, being hedged, that's only half the battle. The real genius is how you use that defensive posture as the perfect launch pad to go on the attack.
So what did that attack actually look like? Well, first, they used that cash to scoop up fantastic assets at fire sale prices. Second, they used these clever salvage plays to actually improve the positions that were down. And third, and this is brilliant, with volatility through the roof, it was a golden opportunity to sell options for massive premiums. They literally turned the market's fear into a cash machine. All right, so that's the lesson from 2025. Now, let's take everything we just learned and build our game plan for the future. This is the proposed blueprint for how to handle 2026, and it's built on a few really solid, powerful ideas.
The whole strategy really boils down to these 4 pillars. You've got your growth engine with AI infrastructure, then a surprise growth story with utilities, you've got your stability with defensive stocks, and finally, you're playing smart offense on big policy shifts with strategic cyclicals. Let's dig into each one.
So pillar number 1 is all about AI, but maybe not how you'd expect. The analysis points to something called the Great Bifurcation. See, the explosive growth of the huge Magnificent 7 stocks is expected to slow down a bit, while the other 493 stocks in the S&P are actually speeding up. The real opportunity is shifting to the picks and shovels of AI, the companies actually building the stuff, like Dell, Cisco, and Broadcom. Now for pillar 2, and this one might surprise you, check this out. AI is incredibly thirsty for power. We're talking data centers that use 4 to 6 times more electricity. And all that power has to come from somewhere, right? Well, this is turning sleepy old-school utility companies into a massive growth story. They're not just a safe bet anymore, they are absolutely essential to the AI revolution.
The last 2 pillars are all about creating balance. Pillar 3 is your defensive quality. When things get shaky, you want rock-solid companies with steady demand. Think healthcare giants like Pfizer or staples like Coca-Cola. They're the foundation of the house. Then Pillar 4 is about playing smart offense on the big, unmissable trends. We're talking strategic cyclicals. These are companies poised to benefit from huge policy shifts, like defense contractors or the miners digging up critical minerals. So you see, together they create this really robust, all-weather approach.
So when you boil it all down, the lessons from 2025, the blueprint for 2026, what's the one thing that ties it all together? What's the real secret sauce here? What's the prepared investor's ultimate edge?
It's this, the discipline of inaction. And yeah, it sounds simple, but it is an incredibly hard skill to master. It's the superpower of sitting on your hands and holding cash when the market's math just doesn't add up anymore. It's knowing that sometimes the absolute smartest move you can make is no move at all.
And that is such a huge mindset shift, isn't it? You stop being the gambler at the table, hoping to guess the next card. Instead, you become the house. You build the casino. You create a structure that actually profits from the chaos and volatility instead of getting swept away by it.
And all of this leaves us with one last really exciting question. The playbook is on the table, the philosophy is clear, but as we look ahead, where do we actually point this thing? What's the single best way to put this entire strategy into action? What is the so-called trade of the year for 2026? Well, that's the next piece of the puzzle.